Alright, hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome back to Hiveswap, or as I like to call it, the reading never ends, so apparently I can dance at everything too. Your tap achievements don't lend themselves to fridge front commemoration. As a dancing partner, he's unfortunately a little frigid. If you run down the battery, you have no idea where you get more. Better save it for when you really need it. Okay, so I can tap dance with everything. Well, maybe not everything. No, I can't. Okay. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna avoid using stuff like the dance shoes with things, because apparently you can interact with stuff too. But... okay, that was terrible. Looks like this bag of dog food is tapped out. Okay, you get to say that one time. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna avoid using the actions, the tap dance shoes on stuff, just because it feels a little bit, sparse. Whereas the, item interactions seem to be pretty well fleshed out. Anyway, let's go down into the basement and see what's up. Because this is a whole mess of pickles that we seem to be finding ourselves in. It's a machine designed to take your clothes and wash them. You call it a washing machine. It serves its purpose admirably on the rare occasion a human being is willing to cooperate. This is kind of loud. Well. With the magic of editing, you guys will never have to worry about that. What else do we got down here? All neat and folded. Haha, just kidding. This is obviously dirty. Your pa brought this home as a souvenir. There's nobody inside it. It's kind of like a metaphor, you guess? You're not really sure you want to start down the road of analyzing your life as if it was a work of fiction. A souvenir of your pa after his trip to Hawaii. He's been exploring the Pacific a lot lately, for some reason, or so he mentioned offhandedly a few years ago. I wonder if that's because he's setting up, for Jade. Maybe? I don't know. Unfortunately, I don't know how this fits into the chronology or what matters, because, Pa is Grandpa. Or, yeah, Jade's grandfather, so that raises some interesting questions on how this fits in. And I don't know. I still haven't sat down to even start reading Homestuck again. I'm just gonna bumble my way through, and the comments seem to be more than willing to elucidate. You assume he's still doing that, due to you not having any fresher data, or particularly caring one way or another where the hell he is. Pa loves his Blue Lady's portrait so much, he keeps redundant pictures scattered about, because it's okay if you ignore something supposedly precious to you, as long as you're paying attention to something kinda similar in another location, right? You decide not to pull on that psychological thread, because you have important work to do, and who needs that crappy old blowhard anyway? Is my mouse? Nope. My mouse is like acting kinda weird and sluggish. Don't waste your magic spice mix on the hula curls. Their zesty island flair requires no supplement of flavor. You're pretty sure that ukulele is acoustic. Pogs, or milk caps. The game Pogs are an in-your-face corporate branding of, actually, originated in Hawaii. That isn't Hawaii's fault, though, as far as you know. They aren't pets, they're oh, well, they're really not that either, obviously. But they also aren't dolls, or if they are dolls, why are they so big? They frankly creep you the heck out, and that's why they're down here. What? Just jabber in the belly button or something? Wait, where did that come from? Weird, this basement is weird, and you don't want to be in it anymore. Let's spice up the night. I just realized that Armor is wearing short shorts. No need to buy their allegiance with costly spices from the Far East. This chivalrous warrior was sworn into your service long ago. Unfortunately, they can't fight very well due to their inability to walk or move or really do anything besides be an empty suit of armor. But they're fiercely loyal in their own way, make no mistake. Any batteries that would move this tall drink of metal would have to be like Z-cells, at least. Also, its forging predates battery-powered locomotion of suits of armor. So does yours, come to think of it. You slot one in through the gap in the armor. You expect it to fall and make a soft plink sound, but the sound it makes can only be described as the sound a pog makes when a creeped out kid slots it into a gap in an empty suit of armor left in the basement years ago by your now absent father. Laying it on thick there. You wouldst offer this tough customer a pet treat? Forsooth, insult a knight at your peril. Or like whatever you guess, it's not like they're going to have a sword. You're just trying to keep it light. Just doing a little light goofing. Let's see, it doesn't look like we've got anything in there. What the hell is that thing? Well, let's finish with our interactions, I guess. A treasured, mysterious heirloom like this is exactly what knights should be either defending or questing after, you think. Although, you guess those two groups of knights might disagree on a few key issues. You also think, after the first thing you bought. Or thought? Thought. Yeah, just a light dusting of spice mix before it goes in the wash. You know what they say, the best time to sin is right before you go to confession. A dirty sock full of batteries could actually do some pretty serious damage, but a flashlight full of batteries can do even more, especially when wielded by Joey Claire, extraordinaire. Pogs. When you do laundry, you separate the whites from the colors, but pogs are white on one side and colored on the other. You realize you're just making nonsense connections to distract yourself from the power being out in the creepy basement full of your dad's basement full of your dad's crappy garbage and the literal monsters in your house. And why isn't there anyone here to help you? And why do you have to be the grown-up through all of this? Where is the life you are supposed to have? Hey look, this pog has a lizard on it. You have a shirt with a lizard on it. Shirts go in the laundry. Oh. Of course, you'll just... Oh, for a second it kind of looked like there was a teddy bear in there. No such luck. You give it a little polish with a relatively clean-looking sock. Shining like a diamond now. And last one. You always check your pockets for priceless, irreplaceable heirlooms before you do the laundry. They just dissolve, and wouldn't that be a waste? How could you look at a hungry pupper in the eye after you'd frittered away your treats on a washing machine science? Not even science, really, just foolishness. The art on these is surprisingly durable. You guess it's so kids can click and slam their trash discs at each other without rubbing the Power Rangers off them. The washing machine wouldn't even make a dent. By the time a battery needs to be washed, you should probably just be throwing it away, by which you mean dropping it off at one of those designated battery disposal sites in your area. Because that's definitely what you do. Yep. Spice mix doesn't go in the washing machine. You should need to be told this. I'm like halfway tempted to kind of stop using the spice mix on things. The pogs I will use on everything. Why is the chain moving? What is going on here? What is that? That looks like a sea mine, maybe. Why is the chain moving? Oh, hello. Lucky for him, he has this big house to dump off the animals he murders and the kids he doesn't want to raise. Oh, that's a live wire out there. What the hell is this thing? What the heck is any of this? Your babysitter sometimes cracks into your paw's special reserve. She tends to do it down here, so you and Jude don't see. You aren't really sure what to say about it, or if you even have any business saying anything about it at all. Well, key on mug. Yeah, you know your babysitter tries her best, and her best is usually pretty wonderful. She's really sweet and cool and, like, super smart, but yeah, it would be nice if your mom was still around. They just dissolve, probably. Just a couple of shameful habits. That wouldn't be good for the batteries, you think, but you're not a chemist or a mixologist. I'm pretty sure your babysitter already spiced this up enough, if you know what you mean. Which you do, unfortunately. Maybe it's because you grew up in a house where nobody really cooks, but you have no idea what to do with these cooking implements. Food, the great mystery. Forgotten skiing stuff. No basement is complete without it, in your extremely limited experience. Yeah, so I think what I'm going to do is probably just use the pogs on everything, and maybe the key. They can serve as little plates or coasters, you guess, in a pinch. Not a lot of skiing things. Pogs in this batch. Plenty of skateboards, though. Way more than plenty. Yeah, I'll just use the pogs and the key on everything, because, like, the yummy bits are kind of here and there, but the key is usually, like, nostalgia, you know, talking about her mother and, you know, family life, and the pogs are just silly. Your mom was a heck of a cook, you've been told. But none of this stuff is hers. You guess it's Pa's, but why? Why does a man who never so much as boiled water or fed his kids own a bunch of branded cookware? A mystery. Another crappy mystery about your crappy paw. Wait, Are these your moms? Is that why they've just been languishing down here this whole time? You resolve to immediately take up skiing, just as soon as you get the power back on and finish not being killed by monsters. Okay. Let's look at the junk pile. With your pa's strange affinity towards Betty Crocker brand ever apparent, this musty old junk mainly consists of all sorts of cooking implements, ranging from the familiar to the enigmatic. Really now, you can't tell what a whisk is for, but some of this stuff looks downright unethical. It's also in your way. You can't reach the circuit breaker. And this is exactly why you were keeping your heirloom in the room in the first place. Your pa has a habit of moving things to the basement or the attic en masse whenever he blows into town, just to make room for a bunch more junk. Leaving any kind of food around disused piles of cardboard is like drawing a summoning circle. If what you're trying to summon is rats, mice, and cockroaches. Wait, summoning? Are these monsters magic? Is magic real? Pfft, no way. No way in the world. You guess. Maybe? Even your heftiest slammer couldn't trip this stack. But you think back to how you got these pogs. Weren't they in another box you're having trouble with? How'd you solve that problem? You already know the answer to these questions, of course. You're just trying to pretend you're still on track to cover up this humiliating pog solution gaffe. Electricity is what you need. Yeah, but you can't just get into the... You can't get to the circuit breaker with this resilient stack of junk in the way. If only you had some way to unsettle it. Better step up your game, Joey. I like it how it's just giving me tips at this point, which means I probably shouldn't bother. Okay, so let's tap dance. The fact that that is sparking is really scary. Especially in this nightmare of a house. Wow, that was a cleanup job. Look at it. The path to the circuit breaker is pretty clear now. Nothing really stopping you from, you know, doing something with that. Flip breaker. You flip the breaker and... Oh, yeah. Okay, so it doesn't look like we've got anything new to really interact with. Nope, never mind. We do. Oh. Strife. Okay. You've got no chance of beating this thing. You gotta get away. Step on it. Okay. How do I do? Graceful abscond. And herself. Stretcher luck, hexatile, snakes for the memories. Okay. Tap dance. Shuffle and scoot. Hot steppin'. Alright. Gotta hand it to you. Legger luck next time. So, you... Okay. Now do we switch? Graceful abscond. There we go. So we had to do one or the other. Prima abscond, Joe. And apparently the washing machine was going. Power back on. You doing or psyops of... Wait. You're doing or psyops of encroaching forces. Over. Give you back light only to snatch it away. Described hypothetical very cruel. Dealing with sick operators. Over. No, it was just me. Criminy Jude. That snake monster's down in the basement, by the way. I managed to get past him, but we'll probably need to deal with that at some point. Second encounter with said serpent, correct? Beast, wily, but sister already established superior wiliness attribute. Over. Hey, thanks. I think. Trophy room should be trivial obstacle. Over. Wait, what? Attic key, Joey. Eyes on the prize. Keep me in the loop. Over. And out. Okay, so I don't think we have anything new to interact with. Though it is nice to see this entire place properly lit up. Huh. There is some stuff in here. Let's just look around for a second. These used to be stacked neatly on the shelves, but your big dog came clambering through and slammed right into them. They tumbled everywhere. That was about 3 years ago. You aren't great housekeepers. Yeah. But yeah, now we've got a well-lit, now we've got a well-lit house to just take a look at. I don't really care about actually interacting with any of these things, and I'm fairly certain it's not going to say anything new. But it's neat. Yeah, no, looks like we don't actually have anything new, as far as I remember. So let's just head for the trophy room. Oh. That's a new thing. Might be able to fight this one. Strife! Okay. So this is what was blocking the door. He looks hungry. Okay, let's try flashlight. Light on your feet. Light bite. Better luck biter like luck next time. I don't know if I have to worry about things. Please excuse me. Nope. Okay. So these are terrible puns. Appetizer. Okay. Main roars. I'm not sure. I think I'm supposed to hit it with the light unless I do something else like the key. But it looked like hitting it in the face. Nope. Okay, it didn't like that. Maybe tap dancing is the trick. Because we got something out of tap dancing. Unless I'm supposed to use the key. Wait, maybe it's because I accidentally interacted with something. Oh, here we go. Too precious to weaponize. Oh, yummy bits, of course, I'm dumb. Yeah, it's because I had accidentally tap danced at one of the keys. So I didn't quite understand what I'm supposed to do here. Yeah, so this isn't like a fight. This is just a puzzle. Okay. I'm sorry that took so long. I'm sure that probably gave some people a fit. I've just been playing too many turn-based RPGs lately. All right. Monster-inflicted death scene averted. You are unbelievably stressed out right now. Congratulations, you've ascended to Rung 2, attained rank of Tail-Wagging Tyro. Max HP increased by 12, muscle increased by 7. Congrats, you've ascended to Rung 3, attained rank of Minute Mammal Mender. Dexterity increased by 2, Grace increased by 6, Leverage increased by 5. Congrats, you've ascended Rung 4, attained rank of Peppy Patterer. Mastered Knockin' Bop. Hubris increased by 4. Courtesy increased by 2. I always liked that, like, complete nonsense stat system in Homestuck. But I wish it actually, like, almost had more meaning. It's, like, complete nonsense, but you could use it on stuff. Oh, whatever. So, where's the key? In his desk or something? Would never leave critical item in such a obvious location over? Okay, but, like, where did you leave it? I just had to lure a hungry monster out of here with treats, and I'm not sure how much time I have for brother-sister conspiracy capers before it comes back. If room compromised, can't discuss countermeasures over unsecured line. Utilize puzzler skill set over. Fine. Call back if assistance required. Over and out. Alright, let's take a look at things. This is a katana. You have no idea what to do with one. Wait, maybe you'll just throw it away. This is exactly the kind of thing you wish wasn't in your house. Why couldn't your paw just leave their regular eyes in? Also, more importantly, leave their head attached to their body. You'd also put something in. You'd like to put something in those sockets, but what? And also, wait, why do you want to do that so much? That's weird. Okay, let's hide this. There might be some things up high. No, it doesn't really look like we have much to interact with in this room. We've got the clock. It stopped at 11:11, and has been as long as you can remember. You could fix it, but why bother? It's not like you're going to make a habit of strolling over to the worst room in your house just to check the time. Your paw's love of globes knows no bounds, but you don't recognize any of the continents on this one. You'd have a better idea of where you were looking at, what you were looking at if you could read these scribbly labels. All you can make sense of is the X mark. Could it indicate treasure? That is an interesting globe. Spin it! You spin the globe and watch the white beams rake across the surface of the globe. Anything else? Got that. You got some really old ashes in here, and a couple of nearly disintegrated hunks of charred wood. As if being dead weren't bad enough, your paw replaced his eyes with some creepy glass orbs. The light reflected in their faceted stare gives you the creeps. But are you crazy, or is there some light reflecting off his antler too? Maybe it bears closer inspection. Okay, let's finish inspecting the whole room before we do too much. It's a albrige. A folk art monster from Oaxaca, Mexico. Oaxaca? Yeah, it's probably Oaxaca. Oaxaca? Mexico. Carved out of the wood of the copal tree. This little thing used to creep you out really bad until your babysitter suggested you learn more about it. You find out they're based on monsters an artist saw in his dreams. And ever since then, he seemed a lot more friendly. This is a Horus, you think. You're not up on your Egyptology. Anything else? Not really. It's getting a little bit sparser as we go further. This weird little guy is no stranger to spicy foods, given the country of his origin. You said that as plainly as you could, because saying stuff like that sometimes makes you worry you're being racist. But you're pretty sure that passed mustard. Authentic folk art doesn't come with battery compartments. At least, not the authentic folk art produced in the region of this particular piece's of origin. Some albrige are made from brightly painted paper mache, although this one's made out of wood. He's a little insulted that you'd think he'd care about pogs just because they're colorful, and maybe made out of paper too. You get the feeling you should maybe step off. With those big ears and those wings, this little bat fella probably prefers mosquitoes and moths to big treats. Oh, big treats, pet treats. My dyslexia is going haywire right now. I'll try and rein it in, but we'll see how it goes. So, mosquitoes and moths to pet treats. Although, according to this disclaimer in the back, the pet treats may contain insects, up to 0.01%. You don't like those odds, so no treat. Heh. He does share its red and green coloring, kinda. Well, close enough. Close enough to raise questions? Not really. Nope. Different pantheons. Seems pretty dowery. Not really treat-friendly. Okay, so back to pogs on everything. That is not a big pog on its head. You don't know what it is, but it's not that. Okay, so pogs on everything. Like these pogs, could this antler be flipped somehow? Like, how someone might flip a switch? Depending on what you may or may not already know, you frame these questions either as sincere eurekas or absolute sarcasm. At your own discretion. Yeah, so this is interacting objects on stuff. Hints. Duh. The best thing about this fake planet, no pogs. Oh yeah, and probably no monsters either. Which used to be a thing you could have said about the real planet that you live on. Not anymore, apparently. You're 0 for 2, real planet. You sprinkle the globe with spice. Uh-oh. Inhabitants of this fake planet? How will you respond to this new shift in the global market of exotic spices? How would your now obsolete trade routes weather this prodigious miracle? And what of your spice-heavy investment portfolios? You'd better hope they were very flexible. It doesn't need batteries, but you get the feeling it might need something else. Or maybe you don't. It depends on how much you've heard, what you've been paying attention to, or any number of things, really. What are animals like on you, fake planet? Are they hungry for treats? You assume so. Animals always want treats, even fake ones. Assuming, unlike poor animals in this room, they are still alive, even fake alive. Pfft, this globe obviously has nothing to do with any key-shaped objects. Little do you know! Alright, key. There's something about this key that reminds you of clocks, or at very least clockwork. Keys are for opening, for initiating, for unlocking, but also for locking, for finishing, for sealing. Although those uses are much less exciting, what's the point in finding a weird old key just to lock something away? This thing is already full of cogs. It doesn't need any cardboard discs. Pog in the eyes? You can never be so rude and cruel to such a big, sweet kitty who's already suffered so much. Something definitely needs to go in these sockets, though. If only because you're getting creeped out. You hope this big kitty had treats aplenty when he could enjoy them. You sincerely do hope that. You sprinkle a pinch of the magic spice mix onto the moldering cat head trophy. From the depths of your soul, you somehow summon the willpower to resist eating it. Batteries in the eye sockets, eh? Well, it's worth a try. Nope, it wasn't. It wasn't worth a try. Almost wish there was a visual for it. Key on it? You stare into the empty sockets of the cat head. Then to the red and green jewels in the key. You look back at the empty sockets, then back in the red and green jewels. So that's something else we'll have to do later. Your mom left you this key, so it's your heirloom. Your pa probably stole this katana from someone. So somewhere out there's a kid going without their heirloom. This makes you a little sad, even though you made it up. Calling a katana your pet just seems like the kind of thing boys who watch too much Japanimation would do. You let a pog fall on the upturned blade of the katana. It slices right in half. But whether this is because the katana is really sharp, or the pog is really crappy, none can truly say. An electric katana would be... okay, you have to admit, that would be pretty cool. Like something a bad guy from a Japanese role-playing game would have. And it would be all tiny in his sprite's little hand, until you actually got into battle, and then it would be shown to be actually 9 feet long. A weapon from the Far East, wielded under the heady influence of exotic spices. Whoa, what? That was definitely kind of a little racist. Maybe? You're pretty sorry about that. Look, it seems like someone sliced the... It seems like someone sliced this big fella's hand off. Luckily he's a lefty, at least posthumously. Equip armor. It's a little out of season. Ah. Key on armor? Ah. Inside an empty suit of armor. Is that a good hiding place or the first place someone would look? You guess you've never looked in there, so it's not the first place. Heck, that thing could be full to the brim with secret treasures and answers to wild mysteries, and you'd have no idea, and you never will. Maybe he was offering that big kitty a treat, and it bit his hand off. You're just kidding around. But it makes you feel better about the beautiful, noble animal your pa shot and decapitated. Pogs, like suits of armor, are actually not at all that common, despite being all their respective eras will probably be remembered for. You can just see it now. You are living in the Pog epoch. The idea of a battery-powered suit of armor fills your mind with visions of big armored machine knights, loyal only to their queen, knowing no fear, utterly unstoppable. They aren't especially pleasant visions, so you stop envisioning them. You give the maimed knight a sprinkle of dust, right in the missing vambrace. Time heals all wounds, after all. Oh, that was atrocious. Alright, let's go get this antler going before I lose my mind. And my voice. Okay, whoa, that did something. Jude, I can't make heads or tails of this thing. What thing, over? I turned on a laser, but that's it. Nothing else is happening. Thought you were a puzzle master. Was wrong, it seems, over. Hold on, over. Believe this calls for burns. McGruff crime dog experiences trouble. Unbelievable, over. Wait. Disregard previous burn. Superior burn formulated. Ace Ventura, pet detective. Please respond if ice required. Nice try, dork. Maybe if you're a real tactician, you managed to get your burns out in the first try. Is it requesting do-overs? Pride wounded, but unable to protest. Have been informed mildly contentious banter, cornerstone of squad camaraderie. Over. Yeah, anyway. How am I supposed to solve this thing? This clearly a puzzle thing that cries out to be solved. Use marbles, over. I'm thinking as hard as I can. You know I like puzzles. I wouldn't be asking if it weren't an emergency. Actual marbles, over. What are you talking about? Trivial, really, over. What marbles? I don't have any marbles. You don't? None nearby, over? No! Oops, over. You are now Jude Harley. And though tonight is apparently the night you've been preparing for, laying so many preparations and countermeasures and countermeasures against, it would seem you made a rare tactical blunder. The marbles that Joey needs to disengage your strategic defense globe are here in your treehouse. Time to call in the Lone Gunbirds. Huh. Well, this looks like this is going to be interesting. I was expecting I'd just keep playing as Joey, but I guess not. Well, this will be interesting. And we don't have as many things to interact with. So we'll cut down on the reading and increase the progress, at least a little bit. I want to look at all of these things, but we'll have to do that on the next episode of Hiveswap, and hopefully my tongue will become untied by the time we get there. So I'll see you guys then, and as always, thanks for watching.